My name's Scott Truax, and I love cars. And ever since I was 11 years old, my favorite car has been the Porsche 928. And after 20 years of searching, I finally found the right one for me. This one. This is my video blog that I'm calling Projekt 928X. So I'd been driving past the house where this car was located for about a year, and I finally decided to go in and ask the people what the deal was. And as it turns out, I happened to be at the right place at the right time, and they let me have it for $200. They needed to get rid of it, they didn't have the paperwork, and I was willing to take the chance. And it's a good thing I did. I checked with the DMV, it wasn't stolen, ended up getting all the paperwork sorted out, and now it's mine. And it's in pretty decent shape, especially for $200. I can't complain. No rust at all. In Idaho, cars tend not to rust here, and plus the fact that it's half of it's aluminum and galvanized steel, they do pretty good anyway. But this is its one dent right here. It's accessible from the back side, so it's pretty easy to fix. It's got one little chip in the paint. I'm going to redo the paint anyway. It's a great color. It's a metallic black with a tan interior. The paint's faded, but since I'm going to keep the color that it is, I don't have to worry about sanding out the door jambs or under the hood or any of that. Just need to mask and paint the outside. One thing about 928s is you should probably find one where you like the color, because changing some of them came in just horrible colors, and changing out the whole color is going to cost you a pretty penny. But this one I really like. I like the tan interior. I like the black exterior. It's in pretty good shape. The door panel. This door panel is near perfect. The dashboard's a little torn up, but I think wherever it sat, it must have sat in the sun for a long time, because the dashboard's kind of toasty, and the underside of the hood was interesting. The air filter, when I took the air filter off, I could see through it. It had rotted, and the foam insulating pad under the hood had just crumbled. So it obviously sat for a long time. They told me that it ran, and I tend to believe it. The odometer says 42,000 miles. And when I towed it home, I noticed that the speedometer still worked. So I really think it's 42,000 original miles. Most of the parts are there under the hood. The interior needs a few things other than the dashboard. The pod is cracked like they all tend to be. The headliner, I don't think you can really see here, is headliner's in good shape. It's a sunroof car. I don't know. The battery is dead, so I don't really know what electrical things work. The seats are in fair shape, but I'll have those redone. And I think I'm gonna change everything that's brown. I like the tan and I like black. So anything that's brown is gonna be black. Just get rid of that. It'll be tan and black. And I think it's gonna look pretty killer. Under the hood, everything seems to be here. The first thing I did was, like I had mentioned about the air filter, I checked the air filter and needed a new one. So what I did was 928s have rubber straps that hold the air box together. And to me, I think that was just a bad design. So, they're 20 bucks a piece, so 20 bucks times 4. I was just thinking I could spend the money in a better place. So what I did was I came up with these metal clips that I made myself, and they fit right over the top here. And then I have these over center clamps that I took off of an Acura, and they adapted themselves pretty nicely to my situation here. So yeah, I got an air filter. I've bought an oil filter. I've bought, it didn't have a dipstick. I don't know what the deal is. There's a few wires that I don't know what they go to yet. There's a couple of vacuum hoses that I'm going to have to figure out what goes where, but I downloaded all the diagrams, and one thing that's great about 928s is there's a very supportive community. People who have these cars tend to really love them and really help out those people that are just getting into them. And since I'm going to do all the work myself, I'm going to need all the help I can get. I'm pretty mechanically minded, but this vehicle is different than most vehicles that you run into. The fuel injection is kind of complicated, and it's like many things German. It's complex. It runs good when it runs good, but it's overly complicated. So eventually, I plan on putting an LS engine in here. I don't know which LS, but they're more modern, easier to find parts for, and it's a pretty clean swap. But until then, I'm going to get the 4.5 liter running and driving, and I'm very excited, and hopefully you stick with me.